British or something. Oh yeah, that's pretty sweet.
What's up, guys? Matt here, coming at you with a quick video. Finally got a little bit of time. I'm working on the Atlas 6x6 some today. I wanted to put some scramblers on it, and stock setup, you just can't fit the scramblers. Okay, they want to rub each other right here. So I'll put a little picture in here I took when the first time I tried to put them on. So you can see there, they just wouldn't work. The axles in the rear are too close together. So I figured I would stretch this rear just a little bit. And I don't think it looks too bad. I probably could have went a little closer together. But I think it'll work fine. So what I did was, I started out, I was going to lengthen all of these links. I was going to take some SEX24 links. I have like a ton of them. I've bought extras here and there, and you can see I just have them laying everywhere. So I was going to replace all of these links. Well, the ends, these ball studs, like these here, are double mount. So you got like the shock mounts on the outside of it, and then a link on the inside, and it screws in to the axle here. The SEX24 links, without really drilling them out a lot and just going through it a lot, those ball studs wouldn't fit inside of them. I could have made some custom links out of brass, but I was trying to just get this done fairly quick. I had a little bit of time to mess with it, and I just wanted to get these scramblers on here. So maybe coming up soon, I have a few days off, I can get a little testing in with this. So what I ended up doing, instead of lengthening all of those and moving the whole thing back, is right here. You can see in my holes, they aren't super straight. You can see a little bit of gap there, but I just freehanded it all. This whole setup was normally mounted up here. This screw, and I hope you can see all this good, this screw was here. This screw was actually, or that one, or actually on this outside here. So I just moved it back one space length. I took this front screw from here, moved it to the back setup, and it has these extra holes where there's little tabs on this that just kind of stick into those holes. So I moved all this back. I drilled 2 new holes per side. This hole for this side, and then same thing on the other side. I really hope you can see this good. So I moved this one to here and then drilled 2 new holes here, and it seems to work. You can see the scramblers mounted up on there. They were just enough bigger than the stock Atlas tire that they wouldn't fit, but they are a much better tire. You can see they don't mount the greatest on these wheels. I'm gonna probably replace these wheels eventually. I actually kind of like the look of these wheels, so I don't know. I'll see what upgraded wheels I decide to go with maybe later, but for now I'm just gonna run on these stock wheels. Like I said, they don't mount beautifully. I could probably get that a little better, but I'm just kind of throwing it on there. I wanted to see if it would work and test it out, and so far it works. You also have to have a longer drive shaft for here. The stock one, I've already put it away, is way too short when you move this back. So this is actually from Banggood. I ordered it for the Enduro 24, and I've just never used it because with the Enduro I made some stock axial drive shafts work on it. So you could actually use one of the stock axial drive shafts, I would say, for this. You may have to take the long one and cut it a little or something like that, but all you have to do is get your 2 ends, and these have the pin style that go all the way through. So you do need that. These from Banggood, they're kind of funky. You can see those screws, they're tight, but it's not all the way down in there flush, but it works. It's not hitting anything or whatever. So off of Banggood, I think these were like $8 or $10 for two, for the front and rear, basically, for the Enduro 24. So I'll see if I can link those up in the description. And I'm going to go ahead and mount this other Scrambler on this stock wheel here. I have 2 more Scramblers, should be coming in today, that I'll mount up to the front eventually. And I'd like to have the Mudslingers. You guys seen the Mudslingers. They are wicked, but they're out of stock everywhere right now. So I got lucky. I got 2 sets. You know, I got one on the dig rig and one on the 4-wheel steer rig. You guys know everything's hard to come by right now. So we're going to run these Scramblers that I already had and see how this thing does. So I'm going to mount this other one up, get it on here, and we'll try this thing out. Here we go. So I ran into one of my first quality issues, I guess you'd say, with the Atlas. These junk Phillips head screws. So I was going to move the shock placement to try to drop this rear end a little bit, get even more clearance. And I needed a really good Phillips screwdriver to break all of these loose, because you won't be able to see it on camera, but you can see where they've put a Loctite in there. So they Loctited these things in because you have to leave them a little bit loose or it won't travel right. It locks up. If you tighten this screw down on this shock, it'll lock up. Well, I go to move the very last one, and that cheap old junky screw just breaks off. Okay. So that's what I'm talking about with these crap screws. So I start having very many problems like this. My thoughts on this thing's going to go downhill quick. Okay, so luckily I'm the type of person that I have a million different little screws laying around for these things. You know, if this was somebody's first 24th, or technically it's an 18th scale, but you know, you might be out of luck when that screw broke off. So I was able to replace it with a hex head. The broken screw is still just stuck in there. I didn't even bother trying to pull it out. But I just wanted to show you this little cheap toy from Walmart here that I actually bought to possibly use the body. Look at the screws on it. Little cheap Phillips head screws. Like a $10 toy. Really shouldn't even be that. Probably cheaper than that. Has the same screws as this hobby grade RC. So that's just my complaint when I get one of these and I'm like, oh, it's got cheap Phillips head screws in it. That's why I say that. Not just because I don't like Phillips head screws, because I've had them break, I've had them strip, they're junk. Anyways, we'll slowly replace whatever breaks, I guess, and hopefully this thing will be good from here on out. So let's get a little running with the new Scramblers on the back. So anytime I run the Atlas 6x6, all I can think of is,
Want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
Who what?